will now be, hello. We will now come back from recess, and I ask everyone to please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asa nisam lavotenu bayamin hahem bazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed miracles for our fathers in those days at this time. We thank you for all that you do for us, making us through, keeping us strong through this year of 2018. We appreciate all that you have done for us, our city, our country, and the world. Thank you. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jim, are we finished the closed-door session?
Yes, Mayor, you could just announce that the closed-door session is concluded and closed.
All right, the closed-door session is now concluded and closed. Moving on to agenda approval. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? I have a few. For item 3B, I'd like to table that to January 15th.
I'm sorry, what was it again?
3B. Item 3B, the announcement on implementation, installation, and go live for the onboard computer routing system. In addition, we have our Tiger Sound Band from the Boynton Beach Community High School. I'd like to put them as an announcement for 3K. And also, I have a signed community support form from the city clerk and myself for $200 that I'd like to put as new business item 11D, and put that in front of the consent agenda. Hearing no objections, may I have a motion to approve as amended?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Agenda is approved unanimously. Commissioner Katz, would you like to begin with informational items?
Yeah, nothing to disclose at this time.
Commissioner McCrae.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing to disclose at this time as well. But on Wednesday, I was on my way to the League of Cities luncheon that was hosted here by our city, and I was T-boned. I was in an accident. I'd like to thank Chief Joseph, your staff, sir. Tell him I was treated like royalty. I don't know if they put on airs or what, but anyway, you all treated me real well. I'd like to say to Chief Gregory, sir, tell your staff I said thanks as well. And thanks for coming down to the hospital to make sure I didn't leave, okay? Because I know that's why you was there. On a serious note now, the holiday parade. Staff, an excellent job. Excellent, excellent job. I don't know if it was the biggest, but I know one thing, it was the best. And last night I attended Chief Gregory's first town hall meeting that was held in District 2. Sir, job well done. Thank you for the men and women in blue. Thank you. That concludes mine.
Vice Mayor.
Just a few comments to make, no disclosures, but I do want to also thank Chief Gregory and all of the administrative staff and all their officers and ranked officers who were there last night speaking to the community, being open, being transparent, and really setting the mission and the vision for what this new tenure will look like for our police department. Just unprecedented things have been happening here in the city so far. 23% decrease in crime. This is tremendous. So I just do want to thank you, Chief, for just coming on board and really hitting the ground and running and taking this department and really moving it in the positive direction. Second of all, I want to thank Chief Joseph and all of the Boynton Beach firefighters, the Benevolent Association for the holiday Christmas event that they hosted last night. Some of you have maybe seen the video. I was getting down a little bit, but definitely had a great time with the family. This is just an opportunity for all of our firefighters to really just get out of the uniform and be men and women and really just show their human side and celebrate and have their kids come there and let them run around and be kids. And it was just a great event last night, and meeting so many people and thanking them for their service to our city and to our residents throughout the year. It just really shows what this holiday season is about, and also what our city is all about. It's about family, it's about camaraderie and working together, and remaining as a team and working as a team. So I do want to thank our men and women in blue and our men and women who are in our fire department working so hard every single day to keep our residents and our city safe. Thank you.
Commissioner Kelly, would you have anything to disclose?
Sure. I was honored last week to attend the League of the Cities luncheon that was hosted by the city. It was a big event. I heard it was the largest that they've had in quite some time. And then also my family and I we attended the holiday parade and the tree lighting, and it was a great event put on by the city, and it seemed like everyone had a great time at that event. So.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to say to
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly, this is your first official meeting that you're at. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
On November 26th, I attended our Boynton Beach Historical Society, and they talked about, I forget his name, but we have some wonderful artwork over at Forest Park that Frank Papa was able to restore. And it was just a pleasure to see about how much of Boynton Beach is history that we are preserving. On the 27th, I met with GreenSpot, which is a startup tech company that is putting in municipalities free electrical vehicle charging. And I would like to see if we can put on future agenda items a discussion about our future transportation needs. I've been getting a few emails about the electric go-karts that uses advertising and other types of electric vehicles at no cost to the city, where it be the scooters, bicycles, or automobiles, to have a discussion so that we can move forward with our Town Square project, and as it's being built, to include those and also retrofit our current centers to have these types of technology. I attended the Choice Day for the Boynton Beach Community High School that evening. On the 28th, I was with everyone for the Palm Beach County League of Cities event over at Benvenuto. It was a sold-out event. I'd like to thank the city and CRA for hosting Palm Beach County. And then that afternoon, with the Boynton Beach Garden Club, the plant share, the community greening, and the Woolbright Farmers Market, we had the city's first ever plant sharing event, where we were able to give away over 180 plants, herbs, and trees to the community of the Boynton Hills neighborhood. So if you have not seen what the Boynton Beach Garden Club has done at that neighborhood park, we really should take a look at it, because it's just amazing what it has done. And also, I'd like to request staff if they could work with the garden club so they can have a hose in case some of the sprinklers aren't working, that they have access to make sure the trees are the plants are watered. In addition, on our future agenda item, I believe we have the vacant lots. I'd like to talk about the properties on Southwest 3rd Avenue that the city owns, to possibly work with community greening or another tree planting organization to put trees at that location. On the 29th, I read to the children at Freedom Shores. The parade was amazing. The vehicles it was a lot of fun. I think that was the first time I was in a Maserati. And I'd also like to thank Hurricane Alley for the catering of the event, for the staff and police and fire. This past Monday, I was at the Library Legislative Day for the Fourth Arts Society up in Palm Beach. And also to Chief Gregory, you did an amazing job for your first public engagement. Now you have a lot more to go, because there's still a lot more of the public that would like to hear from you. And also thank you to the fire department for all that they do. This morning I went to the Race to Equity with Ike Powell and the Youth Summit. I want to know if there's any way that the city could help partner with the county in either sponsoring or transportation of the youth to that event. And then I went to the SCORE luncheon, and this is for David Scott, if he's had any conversations with any of the members at SCORE to see how we can help the businesses in Boynton Beach. I know that they are working with a few of our businesses, and we always like to see our businesses doing well. And that is it for me.
Mayor,
Yes.
thank you. Since you made mention about the garden club, I'm going to ask staff, since he asked for water, do we have a faucet over there? Because I know we have irrigation over there. If not, please.
We'll check into it.
All right, thank you.
If there's irrigation, we can put something in with a lock on it so they can access.
There is a lock. They don't have a key to the lock. And so that's kind of where they would like to have access to the hose.
We'll get
with,
to work on
with the key.
We'll get them set up.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Is seeing any further information? Having none, moving on to announcements. Our first announcement is from Public Works Solid Waste Division. We'll be having its annual Tire Amnesty Week this week, beginning December 3rd, ending December 7th.
Good evening, Andrew Mack, Director of Public Works and Engineering. Very happy to be here and announce our annual Tire Amnesty Program. I know Davison was here last meeting and announced it, but we're in full swing this week. It's December 3rd through the 7th. You can put up to 8 residential tires out on your bulk trash day. Just make sure that they are at least 3 feet away from your garbage cart or any other fixtures, and keep them separated from vegetation. And we're already off to a quick start. We already have a 120-yard dumpster full of tires in 2 days. It's about 125 tires, and we're hoping to exceed what we did last year. So if you have any questions, you can call the Solid Waste Division at 561-742-6200. Okay? Any questions?
Andrew, at the last meeting, I requested that you and Mr. Woods work together, to see if there's any tires on property that you all can go ahead and tell the individuals to put them out, that you all going to pick them up.
Yes, sir. At our agenda review meeting this week, we actually, the city manager mentioned it. We're actually partnering also with the police department as well. And if they see them, they're calling the Solid Waste Division.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next announcement is the multiple awards received by the Boynton Beach Utilities for the successful implementation and management of the East Water Treatment Plant Upgrade Project by Michael Lowe, Deputy Utilities Director.
Thank you, Mayor. Michael Lowe, Deputy Director of Utilities, and happy to say project manager on this particular project. Before I mention the actual awards, I'd just like to recognize the presence here of a number of the people who worked with us on this project. We have Bob Gilbert, who's the Vice President with CDM Constructors. They held the master contract for the whole project. Then we have Suzanne Meckler, who did design work, and she's a client service principal with CDM Smith.
Excuse me, I'm going to stop you. Are they here tonight? Because I like to see them, because I don't know them.
We'll get them up. Well,
all right, Susan, okay.
And Liz Fujikawa, who's Vice President with Carollo Engineers, and she did design work as well. He was with us earlier, but I think he had to take his daughter to a gym class. Todd Palmadier, who is with PCL Constructors, and he's a senior project manager, and he was handling the MIEX part of the project. With regards to the awards themselves, firstly, we got an Engineering Excellence Award from ACEC, which is the American Council of Engineering Companies of Florida. We went to collect that some few months ago. But we did even better still, because with the Design Build Institute of America, firstly starting with the Florida section, we got a Project of the Year award for the Water Wastewater Division, but then we were truly honored because we got Project of the Year for Florida itself. So we had the very best design build project in Florida for that year. And then to go one better still, Design Build Institute of America itself gave us an award for project in the water wastewater division, and I know we were shortlisted for a higher level project. Regrettably, we didn't get it, but I think we've got a pretty good. We got a merit award from them, so we're very pleased with this, because this was the first of the real progressive design build contracts that we tried to work with. Overall, it was a $30 million contract, but we made a number of significant savings during the course of the project, and being progressive design build, one of the highlights that everyone sees every day is the lighting of the tower. That was handled within the project itself. So I think that sort of sums it up. We're very pleased to, yes.
For the sake of those in the back and those watching on camera, would you mind lifting up those awards so everybody can see?
We're going to try. Careful.
Well, this is the National Award from Design Build Institute of America. There's a similar one for actually, we're up for one more award, but we don't know until
January. Probably.
January.
Yeah.
Joe Paternity, Utility Director. I also want to, in addition to that, I want to introduce some of our promotions from within our utility. And I want to bring up Tremaine Johnson, who has been with the utility for over 12 years. He's our new field operations manager. He's got a bachelor's degree, and he's been doing this for quite a while. And he's very qualified, so I'm really happy to introduce him. We also have Winia Bryant, who can't be with us tonight, is our new manager of asset systems, who also has a bachelor's degree and has been with the utility for, 20 years. So she's moved up through the ranks. Let me get my right glasses on so I can read my notes here. So sorry about that. Yeah, she started in 1997, so it's a little over 20 years. She was a water supervisor, water meter services supervisor in 2006. She's now working on our GIS system and our asset management system within the utility. So we're very proud of her. She can't be here tonight, like I mentioned. Juan Guevaras, please come up. He's a new hire we have, and he's came from the county. He's got a PE, and he's also got a master's degree in environmental engineering. So we have very qualified people. He's been with Palm Beach County Water Utility for 13 years, so we're lucky to have him as well. So I'll stack up our utility staff against any utility in Florida. I think we have the best qualified people, and I'm really happy that they're with us, and we're doing a good job. You don't hear about utilities a lot.
And to the microphone, please.
We do a good job, and we're taking care of the city, so I wanted to bring them up and make sure they're... That's it. Yes.
I want to embarrass Tremaine a little bit, no, I'm just teasing you. But I have to say, you know, when we come to you during budget times and we do reorganizations within the department, we develop career paths to give employees opportunities to advance and grow professionally. Tremaine is the absolute epitome of taking advantage of that and growing in our organization. I'm so very proud of him and what he has accomplished to where he's gone to school, he's gotten his degrees, all the training is just outstanding, and we're very proud of him, as well as Winia. She started reading meters, 20 years ago, and she's now a supervisor over GIS and doing some fantastic things, so we're just very proud. But we want to provide all the opportunity we can for them.
Thank you.
I'd like to say to the hiree and the one that got the promotion, rather the two, congratulations. We're proud of you as well. And utilities, you always try to get bragging rights anyway, so go ahead. We're good.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you.
Well, based on these awards, I think they deserve those bragging rights. So bravo. And the other thing I'll say is I want to commend Lori. I'm getting a little ahead of myself because we have evaluations later, but one of the things that I pushed for coming up here was setting up career paths and setting up opportunities for people to really have a way to establish their careers here in Boynton Beach and to have something to look forward to, not just a mundane day in, day out, 9 to 5, but that they have something to move up and proceed and progress to and aspire to. So thank you for taking the initiative on that, Lori, and again, as you said, letting us see the fruits of those labors, the ability for when we create those career paths that people now can actually take their careers and their degrees and everything and be able to put them to use, and we can retain our talent here in Boynton Beach and really recruit even better talent from outside of the city as well. So thank you, Lori, and thank you to our utilities and everybody on staff. Thank you.
A nod goes to HR. We can't go without saying that, because without them, none of this would be able to happen. So we have a phenomenal human resource department.
Okay. Next, we have an announcement of the 47th Annual Boynton Beach CRA and the City of Delray Beach Holiday Boat Parade will be on Friday, December 14, 2018, and will start at 6:30 p.m. Do we have someone from the CRA that can explain, tell us where we should park? All right. Nope. And we. Yep.
Good evening.
Evening.
You're feeling much
Not
better.
quite like the pirate guy, right?
Yeah.
The Commission, Mike Simon, Executive Director of the CRA. Parking for the boat parade that will start in this general intercoastal inlet area. Obviously, we have Intracoastal Park for parking, Marina Village area. For those of you that know, the parade is difficult because there aren't large parking lots on the waterway. You have also the plaza at Woolbright and Federal Highway and any of the private developments along the way. Delray, Atlantic Avenue, Veterans Park, any of the restaurants on the south side, either Shea or Deck 84 would also be a suggestion, or the City of Delray Beach Marina, which is south of Atlantic on the waterway, about a block and a half. So we look forward to another great event, and that'll be next Friday night.
All right. And we have flyers on the table next to the door.
We sure do. And we need captains. So if anyone has a boat or knows something with a boat, come on.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, city offices will be closed on Monday, December 24th and Tuesday, December 25th, 2018, in observance of the Christmas holiday. City's offices will also be closed on Tuesday, January 1st, 2019, in observance of New Year's Day. The City Commission has canceled the commission meeting that would normally be held on Tuesday, January 1st. The only commission meeting in January will be Tuesday, January 15, 2019, at 6:30 p.m. A Town Square public input meeting on open spaces and play areas on Wednesday, December 5th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Carolyn Sims Center located at 225 Northwest 12th Avenue. The Palm Beach County property appraisers will be manning a table at the Senior Center to provide Boynton Beach residents with information on how to file for homestead exemptions from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. The last date, it would be December 11th, 2018. Public Communications Marketing Director will announce our Dog Day at the beach.
Thank you. Eleanor Crusoe, Marketing Director. Actually, I'm not Wally Majors. He generally would be here, but he's in Canada on vacation, so I told him I'd take over for him tonight. The Commission did approve a one-time trial of a dog event at Oceanfront Park, and the event's been planned for Saturday, December 15th, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Oceanfront Park. Okay.
Mark.
All right. Humans may bring their dogs on leashes until they reach a temporary fenced area just south of the Middle Beach access ramp. The dog area will not impede the county beach to the north, Ocean Park Guest, or private beaches in Ocean Ridge. Dogs will be required to stay within the fenced area, and they will be permitted in the water. Park rangers will monitor the dogs and their owners. The guests must have a Palm Beach County license which shows the rabies vaccination are current. Pre-registration is not required, and there is a limit of 2 dogs per person. There are postcards on the door entries as you leave that you are welcome to pick up. Any questions? Great, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Richard Petty of Healthier Boynton Beach on a presentation regarding the work the committee has achieved over this last year.
All right, good evening. And the name is Ricky Petty. I try to use Richard when I go in the bank or when I get stopped by the police, but it don't work. Richard Petty is the famous race car driver. But anyway, again, my name is Ricky Petty, and I'm the project director for Healthier Boynton Beach. And what Healthier Boynton Beach is, it's a community-driven, resident-led initiative funded through the p.m.on Healthcare Foundation. And what our goal is to provide and improve the lives of family caregivers right here in Boynton Beach. With that initiative, we try to do three things. One, we want to make sure that we raise awareness amongst caregivers, because as a caregiver, many times they don't self-identify. So we want to make sure that they understand their role and how important it is. Two, we want to educate them, because as a caregiver, many times they think that they're in this role alone. And we want to let them know that they're not alone. There is support and services that's available for them. And three, we want to promote health and wellness, because as a caregiver, we do such a fantastic job providing care for our loved ones, we tend to neglect our own health. So we want to make sure that these caregivers continue to stay healthy and strong so that they can continue to do a great job for their loved ones. So those are some of the things that we do. With Healthier Boynton Beach, we have a steering committee that is made up of residents and providers. Before I came on board, we was really top-heavy with the providers, so I had the opportunity to balance our steering committee. So right now we have about a balance of 50% steering committee providers, and we have a 50% residents from Boynton Beach that have lived experiences. So that was something that I'm really proud of accomplishing since I came on board. Some of the other accomplishments that we've made with Healthier Boynton Beach is we participated in the Let's Move Challenge, which is a p.m.on Healthcare Foundation initiative, and the goal is to promote physical activity that will lead change for better health. And in the years we participated, and we came in first place. However, this year we was able to log over 1 million physical activities. However, we came in third place. So I'm hoping that we'll have the support of Boynton Beach next year in March, and we can get first place again like we were before. So you'll get more information about that. One of the other things that I'm very proud that we was able to do was our mini grant opportunity. We created an opportunity to provide mini grants to local churches and organizations, and we did it for two purposes. One, we wanted to build capacity amongst our local organizations and churches, because many times they don't apply for grants because they don't have the confidence or they don't know how or feel that they're going to get the grant. So we wanted to build capacity. Two, we also wanted to get our local community involved in the Healthier Boynton Beach initiative. So we was able to provide a grant writing workshop, which we had over 18 local organizations that was present there. And from that, we was able to provide 8 churches and organizations right here in Boynton Beach with a total of $30,000, and we gave them grants that range from $2,500 to $5,000. And we have a few of our grant recipients that's in here today that are doing some amazing things in the community. They're providing educational workshops, they're also doing some health initiatives, and they're also providing respite care as well as outreach. So we're very, very proud of that particular mini grant opportunity that we provided. One of the other things that I'm very proud that we had the opportunity to do was we provided a summer youth program. And what we did with that program, we was able to partner with the City of Boynton Beach Utilities and work with them and match them up with our young people. And we had 15 young people that was matched in different programs with the Boynton Beach Utilities Department, as well as Pathways to Prosperity and Genesis Community Health. And those young people learned resume writing skills. They also learned employability skills, and each of them earned over $1,000 over the course of 6 weeks. Another thing that we was able to do that we're proud of, just recently, we did a Caregivers Recognition Luncheon. The month of November is National Family Caregivers Day, so we had the opportunity to recognize our caregivers, and we did that at Benvenuto's, and we had 130 people present, and 100 of those individuals were caregivers from right here from Boynton Beach, and it was a really, really great event. Some of the other things that we have coming up is we have what we hosted was a Fearless Caregivers Conference that we had 174 people that was present. We did it over at the Carolyn Sims Center, and we'll be doing it again in the month of February. Actually, February 27th to be exact. So we're doing a lot of different things for Healthier Boynton Beach. We've established a working work groups that you all could be a part of, any citizen or residents of Boynton Beach. We also provide educational workshops. One of the things that we did, we provided a workshop called The Powerful Tools for Caregivers, and we trained 25 caregivers right here for Boynton Beach to make their life a little bit easier. So, and the last thing that I'd like to share with you that we have is we have a caregiver survey that go out. And right now we have nearly 200 surveys that were completed. We're looking to get up to 300. So with your help, you can help us do that. And I'll give you information to do that. And the purpose of the survey is to gather information from our residents to figure out how that we could make their lives a little easier as a caregiver. And we also have a caregivers registry. And right now we have about 138 registered on that caregivers registry list. And we would like to get more as well. So we've done a lot here in Boynton Beach as it relates to caregivers. We want to do more. We have a website. Feel free to visit it. It's called www.healthierboyntonbeach.org, and you can go there and find all the information, updates, and things that we're doing. You could sign up for our registry and also sign up to receive our newsletters, which is filled with a lot of good information and keep you informed with what's going on with Healthier Boynton Beach. So, Commissioner McCray only gave me 2 minutes, but I told him I had 4, and I was going to take my 4, so I continued to talk until those 4 minutes up, and I think they're up about right now. So if anybody got any questions, I'm welcome to entertain them.
I don't have a question, but thanks for taking 3.5. Okay, but I'd like to ask Lori, in regards to that youth program for the summer, you did it with utilities. Is there a way that we can get the individuals to go around to different departments here in this city, like the Shatter?
Yes, HR put together, this is kind of the first time we've done this. They put together the framework, so we have that we can expand.
All right.
Okay, great. And if anybody wants any other information, I got some brochures here right in the back, and I also have some pens. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right, thank you. And our last announcement is for the Tiger Sound Band. Anthony Barfield, come up to the podium and tell us what's going on.
If you please, I'm Anthony Lockhart. I'm the proud principal of Boynton Beach Community High School. It takes a village to raise a child, yes, but at Boynton Beach, we also believe that it depends on who's in that village to raise their child. And I want to say thank you to the mayor. He's been on our campus several times already, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I want to thank also the chief. Sir, I appreciate your support throughout the entire school year. We look forward to working with everyone. Now let me introduce our band director.
Thank you, Dr. Lockhart. To everyone, we want to say, first of all, thank you for allowing us to be a part of that wonderful parade that we was able to participate in. We want to say thank you and also bear gifts, if you will, to each member on the board, to Mayor Grant, Vice Mayor Christina, Commissioner Justin, Commissioner Mack, and Commissioner Amy. If we can give those gifts to you.
Right in here, yeah.
Just a token of our appreciation, just to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be a part. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to.
There you go. Thank you very much.
We're looking forward to other venues and efforts that we can participate in the city of Boynton Beach.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you very much. We are the Tiger Sound Band program, and our principal, who just picked Dr. Anthony Lockhart, we are a proud, and we have a saying called "Working hard is most essential." If the band who is here, we all can stand up. We come in numbers because we want to let you see that we work hard in everything we do, and everything that we try to accomplish in our little area at our school. And and this the one thing that we're trying to accomplish is this trip to the Atlanta, Georgia Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, December 26th through the 29th. And we've raised a number of, we've raised enough, but we've raised amount, but it wasn't the total amount for the whole trip. And that's why we're here today. We're seeking for financial help from the city of Boynton Beach to ask if you can help sponsor us and in donations and just come together to help give these students the opportunity of a lifetime. You know, most of these students probably haven't gone outside of the city of Boynton Beach. And some of these are seniors, juniors, sophomores, and we don't know if this opportunity is going to come again. This opportunity is given to us as a first. This is my first year here, but to my knowledge, the band program has not been invited to a bowl game. And this will be very exciting for us. So we are taking this seriously. We fundraised, you know, a little less than half of the amount that's asked of us. And so we're definitely seeking to try to come to the city of Boynton Beach and ask if we can help these students, you know, go and participate and just represent the city of Boynton Beach in any areas we can to perform, to learn of the educational aspects of, and also just you know, show them that our initiative as to working hard is going to take place. So if you have any questions, you know, we really, really, really are appreciative of anything you can do for us.
So if the city wants to donate, how would they go about making those donations?
You can make any check or money order to Boynton Beach Community High School Memo Tiger Sound Band Program. We also have a GoFundMe account as well, which is Tiger Sound Band. But, of course, check or money order to Boynton Beach Community High School Memo Tiger Sound Band Program.
Thank you. And we got you on the agenda after public audience and administrative for some community support funds from myself. Yes. Hopefully some other members from the commission can also support.
Mm-hmm. Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you. Sir, I want to tell you all thank you, especially Principal Lockhart. I'm just saying it's really my first time seeing you, but I remember you from late work. But Mr. Barfield, I have never been so moved as I was when I seen Boynton Tigers marching. I'm just saying, you know, anytime we get put a face with a name, I was really proud of you all. I think the mayor is going to give you all $200, but I'm going to go ahead and give you all $1,000.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's if they approve it now. I'm saying 1,000.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
Mayor?
Yes.
When will that be coming up on the agenda?
Say it one more time.
When will you be having that come up
It's
on the
right
agenda?
before consent agenda.
Okay. So when that time comes, I'll also make a contribution of my own. I want to say something as well. Marching bands are very close to my heart. I was in marching band all of high school and all of college, got to go to all of our games, and it really taught me the game of football and taught me to appreciate football, and just marching band and the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the sisterhood that you get to be in with a band. And one of the best parts was going to bowl games and going to championship games. So I know the Chick-fil-A Bowl is one of those serious bowl games, so it would be an honor to be able to help get these students to that location. So again, when we get to that part of the agenda, I will also be making a contribution. Thank you.
I have one other comment, and I'll be through. As they had the parade, I'm just saying, for the Macy Thanksgiving parade, when I seen Park Vista, my heart went out, bam, bam, bam. I said, look at us on TV, national TV. Boynton, bring it home. Get on national TV. I like that. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to public audience. Individual speakers will be limited to 3-minute presentations. Please state your name and address for the record before you begin.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. My name is William Sia. I'm an attorney with Becker Polyakoff. I represent Blake's Towing and Transport, Inc. And with me tonight is Mr. Ron Schuster, who's the principal of Blake's. He's here in the audience as well. The Commission clerk and council should have a correspondence we submitted today.
So you already have an item that's on the agenda?
It's on the consent item.
So I'll be happy to remove it, and we can speak about it then. Is there anything in addition to that item?
No, just that we can address it then.
We'll give you an opportunity to speak at that time.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Hi, Susan Oyer, 140 Southeast 27th Way. Well, I made a donation already, so I challenge all the rest of you to make a donation, because I got there first with that check. So you all can get in line behind me. Good luck to the band. First of all, I would like to say Commissioner Romulus, you're going to have a tough time determining who the winner is of our neighborhood decorating. I remember when I moved in and I was the only one putting lights up in the neighborhood, and now it's like full-on warfare for lights, so you're going to have a tough competition to choose from this year.
There's some stiff competition.
Yeah. Well, if I wasn't going out of town, my house would be, you'd be able to see it from the International Space Station. Second of all, I'd like to say to the CRA and to the city, the trees are absolutely gorgeous. I think the tree lighting ceremony was fabulous. My only suggestion would be put in some hints of color. Maybe toss in something fun a little here or there, but the trees are elegant, they're gorgeous, and I think it's what a fabulous idea and what a great way to adapt to our needs for this year. And I would like to just say, for anyone who's not aware, my little environmental kick for the day, if you brush your teeth twice a day for the full 2 minutes you're supposed to brush them, and you leave the water running during that time period, you, as one individual, will waste 3,212 gallons of fresh drinking water in 1 year. So please stop wasting water and turn off the water when you are brushing your teeth, because 3,212 gallons times, what do we have, 326 million people in this country? And we have 1/4 of the world that's short of water already. That's not something we need to be doing. So please conserve water. Thank you.
Mike Fitzpatrick, 175 Southwest 2nd Street. The kapok tree was in that's going to be destroyed is in the paper today, and I'd just like to go on record expressing my disappointment that that's going to happen and that Kids Kingdom is going to be bulldozed. I'm disappointed at Town Square that the condos there was never an adequate explanation of why the condos could not be relocated east of the new City Hall rather than where it is now, and that the current police parking lot become the green space. So I think that would have saved some contributions from past citizens. Thank you.
Dr. Piotr Blas, 113 Tara Lakes Drive, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33436. I would like to begin by saying that I am also very, very proud of our high schools, Boynton Beach High and Park Vista. If I may say something as a college teacher, and I hope they are paying attention, I would stress basketball more than football. The danger of concussions is very serious, and I have a number of students who are incapacitated, so let's have more basketball in Boynton Beach and a little less touch football. It may be not the popular demand, but nevertheless, that would be my opinion. Number two, I want to tell you something I think rather interesting. This morning, we had a hearing in the courthouse. It was Dr. Blas, DeSantis, and the canvassing board. And we are continuing to contest the election. So it sounds not crazy. I believe there are systemic problems. Not in our Boynton Beach election is super, but in the statewide election, there are very serious systemic problems that maybe it's not the right time to address. But anyway, that lawsuit continues. Of course, it's completely ignored by the media, but we all know about fake media. As for Boynton Beach, first of all, I find the city to be incredibly successful, and I give the mayor and the commissioners great credit. I mean, it seems like New York City here. The traffic is quite impressive, too. As you all know, I am trying to step in and be the next mayor. All I will be able to do is improve on your work. And I will just repeat, I have about 60 seconds, the three mantras. University of Boynton, or the whole city will be a university, town. Energy from the Gulf Stream, which I think is a no-brainer. And the third revolutionary idea is a couple of buildings, a couple, not just one, about 2 kilometers high. And the minimum income here the minimum wage should be $70 an hour. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in public audience? Seeing none, moving on to administrative. We will appoint eligible members of the community to serve in vacant positions on city advisory boards. Our first board that we have is Arts Commission. Commissioner Kelly, would you like to begin?
Yes. I would like to appoint Cortland McQuire as a regular member of the Arts Commission.
And if the commission's is okay, because we have a lot, we'll go through the whole advisory board and then nominate as stated. Is that okay? I saw a head nod. All right. I would like to nominate Kim Weiss. Next, we have Commissioner Katz.
I'll nominate Susan Orr.
Next is Commissioner McCray.
Yes, Johanna Zell.
All right. And Vice Mayor.
I'd like to nominate Clovis Moody.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the Building Board of Adjustments and Appeals. Commissioner Kelly.
I would like to appoint Paul Bortz.
Commissioner McCray.
Sanford Kortozewski, or whatever that is.
And Vice Mayor Romulus.
Timothy Hunt.
All right. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Citizens Oversight Committee. I'd like to nominate Alexandria Wilson.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Board. I'd like to nominate Anthony Barber. Commissioner Katz.
I'll nominate Thomas Devlin.
And Commissioner McCray.
Okay, first choice, current member of the Arts Commission. Are they still up there? No? Okay, Colleen Gordon.
May I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the Education and Youth Advisory Board. Commissioner Kelly, would you like to begin?
I nominate Lori Wilkinson.
All right. I will nominate Gregory Murphy. Commissioner Katz.
I'll nominate Peggy LaGuerre.
And Commissioner McCray.
Carla Cole Brooks.
And is Francois a student? Do we know? No. So we still have two student.
Then I'll do. Oh, y'all got me on there twice. I can't do a student.
Yep.
There's no student. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Golf Course Advisory Committee. Commissioner Kelly.
I nominate Mark Frederick.
And I will nominate Jack Alec Chick.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Historic Resource Preservation Board. I nominate Jesse Feldman.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the Library Board. Vice Mayor Romulus.
I'd like to nominate Chris Simon.
All right. Commissioner Kelly.
Deborah Hoban.
I will nominate Chris Montague. And Commissioner Katz.
Bethany Gorney.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. The Firefighters Pension Trust Fund. Commissioner Kelly.
I nominate Robert Taylor.
Do I have a second?
So move.
Moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to Municipal Police Officers Retirement Trust Fund. Commissioner McCray.
Daniel Duggar.
Vice Mayor Romulus.
Toby Athol.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Planning and Development Board, Vice Mayor Romulus.
Eric Gammon. I'm sorry, where am I? Oh, Trevor Rosecrans.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Kelly.
I nominate Butch Boyani.
All right. I will nominate Chris Simon.
He's already on something. I disappointed him.
Yeah, I believe we can have two.
Ken?
You can nominate how many you feel.
Yeah.
But they want to sit on two boards, or wasn't it just a first choice, second choice? But I mean, that's a rank, not a I want to serve on two boards.
Well, they could serve on two boards.
But I'm saying, is that what the individual wants, to serve on two boards? Are we going to take up a spot for somebody who may not necessarily need it or want it?
You know, that is my nomination.
Okay.
And then Commissioner Katz.
Mr. Hatcher.
All right. Commissioner McCray.
Colleen Gordon.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes unanimously. Recreation and Parks Board, I'd like to nominate Eric Amon. Commissioner Katz.
I will nominate Eugene Fagan.
And Commissioner McCray.
Elizabeth Pierce Rowe.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes unanimously. Our last board, our Senior Advisory Board. Commissioner Katz.
Margaret Newton.
Commissioner McCray.
Art Siegel.
Vice Mayor Romulus.
Marcia Bianta.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item 5B, we have the...
Sir?
Yes.
I'd like to congratulate all of our new advisory board members.
We thank you for your service in advance, and know that what you are doing is definitely making our jobs easier and giving us an input of the community for planning for the city. Now we're moving on to item 5B, update on tracking of the advisory board's members' attendance and procedures. I believe our current procedures is that after 2 absences in a row, they get a warning, and
after 3 absences, they'll receive a warning.
And then with the 4th absence, then they're asked
removed from the board.
Is that okay, or do we want to change that? A tardy is not considered an absence, correct?
No.
Do we want to have anything regarding tardies, or a certain amount of time after the meeting starts?
I'm not in favor of that, because you might not know the reason that they're tardy. It might be an emergency, so I'm not in favor of putting that in there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Moving on to consent agenda, I've been requested to pull item 6C. Is there another item that someone would like to pull? If not, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Moving on to item 6C, proposed resolution number R18-176, authorize the city manager to sign the second amendment to the towing franchise agreement with Beck's Towing and Recovery for the period December 15, 2018 to December 14, 2019 for an annual franchise fee of $12,000. Do we have someone from city staff to explain the current contract?
Tim Howard, Assistant City Manager. The current towing contract was a 3-year contract that we entered into with 2 vendors. It expires on December 14, 2018. That RFP and contract allows for 2 one-year renewals. Let me grab it. 2 one-year renewals. So we're at the period of time to determine if we're going to renew for the first year period or not. So what's in front of you is a recommendation to renew with one of the vendors and not the other vendor. We've started negotiations to see if we could get through to renew with both. The issues came up that you were made aware of with payment, so the recommendation is just to go with one. To give us time, we'll go back out on the street for an RFP during the next year to see what's out there as far as current franchise.
Tim, I have a question. What company owed us money and did not pay?
So we had two vendors. One is Blake's Towing and one is Beck's. They pay on a quarterly, building paid on a quarterly basis. Currently, Blake's is 3 quarters behind. They didn't pay the last 3 quarters, so it's $102,000 that they owe us. Beck's didn't pay the last quarter that was due September or August 15th, and that's $25,000.
And Beck is here tonight to talk.
Blake's.
Blake's
is here.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions from staff? Seeing none? All right. You may proceed. And please state your name again for the record.
Yes, William C. Becker-Polyakoff, legal counsel for Blake's Towing and Transport, Inc. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Also here is Ron Schuster, who's the owner of Blake's. So as you heard from staff, there were 2 towing franchise agreements awarded in December of 2015. Both had basically the same contract, although Blake's franchise fee was $133,000 approximately, and Beck's was approximately $101,000. Blake's is here. I'm sorry if it gets a little confusing, Blake's versus Beck's. We represent Blake's, and Blake's is here to object to award of just one and not the other. So what Blake's is asking for is essentially the same opportunity to have a year to have the renewal and basically to renegotiate the amount of the franchise fee, which is the exact same opportunity that Beck's had. And I would point out, you heard figures from staff relative to default. On the other hand, what you didn't hear is that Blake's has in fact paid the city significantly more money because its franchise fee was higher. So naturally you might see one having a greater AR than the other. Both have had financial issues with the under profitability, if you will, of the contract. However, Blake's has paid significantly more than Beck's, and I think that's also reflective in why you might have one AR higher than the other. The other thing is Blake's has tried to bring the issue up to the city for an extended period of time, and the response back as far as around March was, we'll take that up at the time of renewal. The other thing that I don't think was necessarily presented clearly, and I want to make sure, and that's why we submitted a written correspondence so that the council would have that, and that has been submitted into the record as I understand it, letter dated of today's date addressed to the city attorney that we've handed out copies of, is that you generically have a resolution for renewal of the Beck's contract, and you've heard renewal. But on the other hand, if you look at the actual contract that's being discussed as renewing, it's not truly renewing. Beck's franchise fee was $101,000 and change a year. The proposed renewal for the whole year for Beck's is $12,000. So in reality, what we have is we have a situation where both vendors had financial difficulty with this contract. Both vendors have AR. Yes, Blake's on paper is higher, but Blake's has paid more to the city. Blake's has paid nearly $300,000 to the city and had advised the city that these issues were coming and paid it in full for the first 2 years and into the first quarter of this year. So the hope was that just like Beck's, Blake's would have the opportunity to renegotiate, renew, and also, frankly, just from looking at the AR, looking at some 90% reduction in the reduced amount of the fee for Beck's that's on the table for the council tonight, going from $101,000 per year to $12,000 per year, that frankly, just on its face, is giving Beck's a benefit and an unfair advantage that Blake's is not having, namely to still do business with the city and give itself a chance to dig out of a hole. So they're getting a $12,000 a year contract. Yes, there's an AR. Blake's contract was $133,000, and like I said, they've paid more in total to the city. So it's not like you had two contractors. Bex has paid more than Blake's, and Blake's has a higher AR. Blake's has paid more, and they weren't given the like opportunity to renegotiate. So when you say when you hear renewal, members of the council, I just want to point out it's renewal with a big but at a 90% discount to the city. So what we're here is to yes, on paper object to Bex getting a renewal, but it's because Blake's doesn't have the same benefit and the ability, frankly, to work with the city for its mutual benefit to give them a chance to dig out of the same hole and reduce the franchise fee. So what we're asking for is to not approve one and not the other, to give them both, if that's the city's inclination, but give both the opportunity to dig out of a hole and to get the same benefit. That unfortunately hasn't occurred. That's why Blake's has brought us in, mayor and council members, to voice an objection, to make a request that they be given the same opportunity.
I guess you stated that you've paid more to the city than Bex has, but my first question is that why was you signed a contract for the same, I guess, same terms, but for more money? Was there any?
There was an RFP, Mayor. So the towing contractors both responded to the RFP, and those prices that they bid, if you will, is what was reflected in the franchise fee. And that was obviously based on facts and circumstances that they thought would be encountered during performance that unfortunately didn't pan out.
So, for example, I guess Blake's always had to pay more because they thought of because of the RFP, and they weren't given the same price as the second person that also won the same contract.
That's right, Mayor.
Okay. The way I see it is that, you know, the 12,000 is a vast number reduced from the 100,000. You know, our finance director, our assistant city manager says that you have not made the last 3 payments. The way that I see that out of this is that we find out how much Bex has paid, compare that to how much you have paid, and you know, whatever difference, if there is a difference, you would be required to make up that difference, and that we could be able to move forward with having the 2 vendors at the 12,000, because that way, if we only have 1 vendor at 12,000, that means the city is not making as much money because it isn't a per vehicle charge. And then my only question for legal is that would that violate that $12,000 contract we have with Bex?
No, but I point out that the only item on the agenda tonight is the Bex towing contract, not the Blake's towing contract.
So that is something we would have to come back at another item?
That's right. You could act on one tonight and direct staff to bring back a proposal on the other one next time.
Okay, so I'll ask for consensus with the commission. Vice Mayor.
Just a point of clarification. If we're moving forward with this $12,000 offer with Bex, are we requiring them to become current with us for this past quarter that they're missing?
That's not a condition of what's on the agenda.
We're not requiring that of them?
I think the commitment is, if I won't speak for the
finance,
for Tim, but the extent of the negotiations with a not excused.
What's in front of you is for the upcoming year. The balance will still be there, and they'll owe it. It's not a condition to pay it to do the renewal tonight. You can certainly instruct that as a condition if you wish to give them time to pay that last quarter.
Okay. I'm not there yet of making a condition, but what is are we going to be going after that missing quarter payment? That is something that's to be expected.
We'll follow up with that. Yes.
Okay.
It's just not a condition based on what's in front of you.
But we're not just letting it go, correct?
Right. Correct.
Okay. And do you have an amount of what that is?
Yeah. $25,280.75.
That's what Bex owes us for the past quarter?
Yep.
What does Blake's owe us for the past quarter? Or the past 3 quarters?
For the last 3 quarters, $104,125.
They owe us $104,000? So the contract was for $133,000 though?
Right, but it's 3, remember, it's 3 quarters, not a full year. That's what they did. They paid the first quarter of the year. They didn't pay the last 3.
Understood.
That's why it's
okay, thank you.
104.
Okay.
And remember that the RFP that was issued stated that we could award to 2 vendors and with separate amounts.
Right.
So when the contract was signed, each vendor was signed with the amount that they offered in the RFP.
Right. So that amount,
that's why there's this difference.
The 133 and the 101, that was the proposal that each
Correct.
vendor decided that they could pay to the city for
that the
the
city
work
accepted,
that we were
yes.
contracting them for. Thank you
Correct.
very much for that clarification.
I have questions.
Yes.
When we sent out the RFP, I'm just saying Blake responded and Beck both responded. I'm just saying, and we checked them.
Correct.
Okay, and then they signed the contracts and they agreed to these terms.
Correct.
Blake did and Beck did.
Correct.
So I'm just saying, for them to come tonight, I'm just saying and said that, they want to be given something different like that. I'm just saying, if I would have saw a contract where there was some problems, I'd have got to the table before now. I'm just saying, that's the way I'm looking at it.
And Blake's contacted me in March and wanted to negotiate the current franchise fee down. Contractually, it was $133,000 a year. So what I had told them, Ron, at the time, was that at the renewal time going forward for the renewal period, we could negotiate both vendors at the same price. We had an exact same issue of pricing with our last RFP. We awarded to 2 vendors. There was separate pricing. We went through the initial contract term with those separate pricing. At the renewal period, we brought them in line for the renewal period.
My take is that I'm just saying it's going to be March, but my take is that I think we should bring both of them in line. So everybody be on a level playing field, and there won't be anybody. And then when they owe us our money, we can go get it. Okay, that's the way I'm leaning.
Okay, and so Commissioner Katz, Commissioner Kelly, do you have any comments? Because I'd like to direct staff to do the tabulation of how much Bex has paid, how much Blake has paid, and with the fact that Blake has paid us an extra $30,000 a year for the past 3 years or 4 years, 2 years, and so just determine out what is the difference that is owed, because currently Bex owes us money as well, and to make sure that the Blake has the same contract price that Bex got, and that we can move forward with the $12,000. Yes.
So can we proceed with the awarding of this and then speak to staff relative to?
Absolutely, Commissioner Katz. Thank you. So if I'll take a motion regarding the Bex contract, Vice Mayor.
I have a question for the city attorney. These contracts are binding, correct?
They are.
There was no out clause for difference in bidding prices based on one vendor compared to another, correct?
Separate and distinct contracts, both enforceable by the city, no default by the city. Both companies owe the city money.
So in every respect, legally, we are legally allowed to uphold these contracts as they are written, as they are stated, without any ability for legal ramifications.
That's true, including the right to renew one and not renew the other.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Katz?
So I would recommend with my motion the caveat that the firm being awarded the franchise have a time to be determined by this commission to pay their arrears, and also just for my personal position regarding the other firm, that if we're inclined to extend an additional franchise under the same terms, that similar caveat would be instituted for them should we walk down that road, that they have to similarly come into compliance with their previous contract. So I guess that second part's not relevant to the motion. But
so if I can reiterate, your motion is to approve the contract with Bex that they have. Again, how much time do you want to give them? 30 days to give whatever amount is in arrears to be paid forward, to be paid to continue the contract?
90 days, a quarter.
So another extra quarter for any amount in arrears and for the next year's contract. Vice Mayor.
to understand the commissioner's motion, is it that we're giving them 90 days to become current, or is it 90 days, or is it that in order to be issued this new contract that they have to come into compliance? Which one is it?
They have 90 days to come into compliance.
In order to be issued this new contract?
Yes, so that we...
If I could restate that, I think the contract would be extended under the new terms, but we would add a provision that says if they don't bring their arrearage current within 90 days, the contract would end, or it could end at the option of the city.
Right.
I would second Commissioner Katz's motion.
All right. Any further comment?
Discussion?
Yes.
So we're going to move on back tonight, and then we'll wait for a Blake contract to come up before us, and we'll offer them the same.
If we so choose.
If we so choose, but we're going to so choose, okay.
All right. Yes. The second part is when Blake's comes back to you, you will still have a choice to do it or not to do it.
All right. Thank you. All right. Any further discussion from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And we'll have it on, I guess, next meeting for the Blake. Moving on to bids and purchases over $100,000. Proposed resolution R18-177 authorizes the city manager to utilize the state of Florida contract number for software licensing through the Software House International and sign any associated agreement with Microsoft Corporation for a 3-year period for an annual amount of $180,874.48.
Motion to approve.
Well, how much of the Microsoft software is included?
Good evening. John McNally, Director of Information Technology Services. Can you repeat your question?
So you said the Microsoft, basically we're getting a suite of Microsoft software?
Correct.
Could you tell us some of the software?
Sure. Within the city, we have approximately 700 PCs, tablets, probably 100 or more servers that run a different version of software. The PCs obviously are running typical Windows operating systems, as well as the Microsoft Office suite of Word, Excel, PowerPoint applications. The servers need a separate operating system license, and some of them are also running Microsoft SQL, and a Microsoft Exchange server that we have in-house, and various other different types of server licenses that are within this agreement, and all wrapped up together, it is approximately $188,000 per year.
Okay.
Just for your edification, we did try and go out and bid this. Instead, this one here is a state contract. We took the step of trying to see if we could get cheaper pricing and went out, produced an RFP, floated it out there, and got one respondent. And as it turned out, that respondent, their terms and conditions, there were some discrepancies which we had to remove from the process, as well as them being over the state contract price. So we did go back and use this, but I did want you to know that we did try and take the harder approach to do our homework and see if there was another avenue other than the state contract price.
Yes, Commissioner McCray.
Thank you. I'm glad you're up here. With all this news that we hear about people hacking into systems, are we safe?
That's a loaded question.
I just want to make sure,
We're as safe as that keyboard is that has a finger pressed on the clicker button.
Depending on the user.
Yeah.
Commissioner, we are safe in the hands of the Vice Mayor.
Okay.
Was the target of a phishing event last night and did not take the bait.
We have numerous mechanisms in place to try and keep us as safe as possible, but as the city attorney did say, the human element is often the most vulnerable. It is very easy to be tricked by some malicious actors out there. That's why we have those test phishing emails and education to try and make you aware of what to look for and what to avoid.
Appreciate that.
John,
Yes.
was that a test? Was I being tested? Or?
That was a test.
That was a test.
It looked pretty legitimate, didn't it?
I mean, not really. Yeah, no.
Well, maybe it looked too good to be true.
Yeah, we're ready to vote.
Yes.
All right. Commissioner Katz?
We'll vote on this. I have something after.
All right. Is there a second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. And further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Proposed resolution
We have
18.
a hand up.
Mayor?
Yes.
I don't know how to go about this, but it may have been brought to my attention that there were some errors or omissions on the applicant list for some of the advisory boards, and I don't know who exactly to speak to about that, but I didn't want to move beyond this meeting until that got addressed. I think if Susan's here still, she said that her name was put in for P&D, but it wasn't on the list on our sheets or on the digital backup, to the best of my knowledge. I don't know if there's a way to confirm.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And for the P&D?
Commissioner Katz would like to continue with the meeting. Do you mind if we just have that discussion before the end, and we'll put on it?
Yeah, just as long as it's before the end of the meeting, so we don't move past.
Resolutions number 18-178 authorize the city manager to sign an agreement in substantially the form attached for the purchases, installation, implementation, training, and support of fire rescue records management system from EPR Systems USA Inc. of Sarasota, Florida for a 5-year period in the amount of $212,891.60.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Discussion? My quick question is that $212,000 per year or for the 5 years? Okay. That sounds good. All right. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Proposed resolution 18-179 approve the task order with Corolla Engineers in the sum of $184,900 in accordance with the RFQ General Consulting Services Contract Scope Category C awarded by Commission on August 7, 2018 for work on migrating the Utilities Management Optimization Program to an improved platform and making other upgrades to the system.
So moved.
Second for discussion.
Yes.
What is a utility management optimization program?
That's the program we use to manage our projects and our rates. So it's to make sure our rates are adequate to cover the cost of the utilities for the next 5 years, 10 years, and 50 years. So it's the program we use to pull all that data in and run rate programs to develop those rates, utility rates.
Any discussion? Further discussion from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Approve utilizing the Palm Beach County, Florida sole source solicitation with iAxum WaterCare Inc. for MyX Dock anion exchange resin with the same terms, conditions, specifications, and pricings. The maximum anticipated annual expenditure for the purchase of the MyX Dock resin is $350,000. Palm Beach County has complied with purchasing policies and considered this a sole source provider of resin.
Motion to approve for discussion.
Yes.
What is dock resin? What, you know?
The resin is the product that we use in our water treatment that pulls out the organics in the water as part of the treatment process. That plant that we won the awards off, that's a resin plant. So it uses the resin to treat the water, and that's what this is.
Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion from the board?
Second.
All right. Thank you. Seeing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Approve the purchase of replacement vehicles as approved in the fiscal year 2018-19 budget in the estimated amount of $809,646 by utilizing the following contract, the Florida Sheriff's Association contract for 26 replacement vehicles.
Second for discussion.
Yes.
What are we getting for this? Are we getting SUVs or what?
Andrew Mack, Director of Development. These are actually the admin cars. There are a few SUVs, but these are not the patrol cars.
Okay, let me say it again. Can you tell me what are we purchasing then? Is that better?
Yes, sure. So we're ordering 3 utility trucks, 1 van for the warehouse, pickup truck for fire rescue, 7 Ford Fusions for police and fire, 1 Ford Escape for fire rescue, 1 Ford Explorer for police, and 1 Ford Explorer for police, pickup truck, passenger van for recreation, a Honda Foreman, which is the four-wheel at the
Andrew, thank you. That's fine, because when I seen the Florida Sheriff Association, I thought they was police vehicles, and I'm just saying, you know, that's why I had to ask the question. I'm okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, item A, review and action on annual performance evaluation for the city manager. So, I guess Julie, would you like to start?
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. Julie Goldberry, Director of Human Resources and Risk Management. It is the time of year again where you have had the opportunity to review our wonderful city manager regarding her performance over the past year. So you've all done that, and the evaluations are provided in your backup, and this is your opportunity to share any comments you may have and to take any action that you wish to take with regard to her compensation.
Lori, I think you've done an amazing job. You know, it's been a pleasure to work with you. You know, I get a lot of the residents and businesses and people from the county telling me how, you know, they're looking at Boynton Beach now in a different light because of all the things that are going on with our Town Square project. Most people don't realize, you know, what a great CEO you are to make sure that the city is running properly with over 750 plus employees. You know, $220 million budget. You know, we're doing a lot, and a lot of that has to do with your leadership skills. And so I appreciate what you're doing for the city of Boynton Beach, and look forward to retaining you for another year. You know, I know that we gave you
Yes, another year.
Well, we only do it at 1 year at a time. So I know last year we gave you a 5% raise, and I would like to continue that for this year. Commissioner Katz?
Yeah, I would echo that sentiment. I think that certainly in the past 2.5 years since I've had the pleasure of being on this commission and going back further in our city manager's career here in the city, that I think you know, a lifetime's worth of accomplishments have been put together during her tenure, and I think that a great deal of our success in the past years is directly attributed to her leadership. So I'm kind of humbled by her expertise and by her guidance, and I think that she allows us, a group of very diverse individuals and diverse opinions, to operate with freedom under her guidance, but not under her control, which is sometimes a problem when you talk about executive and legislative duties. So I think that it's important that we stay in our lane and do our job, and she stays in her lane and does her job, and I think that's exactly what she does. And I certainly hope that's what we do with respect to her responsibilities. So I agree with the mayor with regards to the raise, and I look forward to working with Lori for the next year and certainly more years to come.
Commissioner McCray.
Thank you. The first time I evaluated Lori, the newspaper ate me up. They said, "What was wrong with you?" Nothing. I had a chance to evaluate Lori again, and she was improving. Evaluated her again with improving. Lori, and you have improved, and I want to be the first one to say I've witnessed growth in you since I'm probably the oldest one up here that worked the longest with you. I remember when you came here as an assistant city manager, so I probably got ins and outs on you better than anybody else, but I watched you grow. I watch you take our criticisms when we said them to you. You don't take them at heart, but you say, "I'm trying to do better, and I will do better." And for that, I appreciate that. And you know, when we all come with our differences and everything, you don't take sides. You said, you stay neutral, and I like that. And I'm just saying, you know, a lot of times when city managers meet with us, you know, about the sunshine law, a lot of times they go back and say, "Well, I know what he's thinking. You don't put yourself in the playing field. I like that. And I'm just saying, you know, only thing I told you was to kind of get my reports to me quicker, but an excellent job. It's a pleasure to work with you, and I do have 1 more year to work with you. Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
I will speak from a very biased point of view. As a woman, I believe it takes a woman to be a tremendous leader because they have the ability to see all sides of an issue, see the optics, and consider how everyone will be affected. I believe that that's what Lori does as a leader here for our city, and that's what's put us on the map as one of the cities that so many other municipalities here in Palm Beach County and also the state of Florida and the country as viewed by our utilities awards and by all the other nominations and great things that we're doing here. And it's really due to the leadership, the person who's at the helm. It's very easy to criticize when the ship is going down, but it's sometimes hard to commend when the ship is being steered in a proper and concise direction. I just want to commend you, Lori, because you're doing an amazing job. I did not give you a 5 only because I do believe in always leaving room for improvement. But that's the only reason why you don't get a 5 from me. You get a 4.5. I made up that number because it wasn't on the list, but I made it up anyway. Simply just because you're a tremendous leader. I've seen just your willingness to learn, to improve, to take constructive criticism, and move forward with it, and being pragmatic, being conscientious, always putting the city first instead of your own prerogatives or your own agenda. These are things that are commendable and very hard to find in a leader. So you're leading this city in the right direction. I would approve your contract for years to come, but for right now, I guess we'll just approve it for this year. So thank you, Lori.
Commissioner Kelly, I know it's only been a week, so.
It has only been a week, but I have had the pleasure of interacting with Lori outside of these walls, and she really has just a love for our city as though it were her own. So I think that just that she's embraced it, she's run with it, she's a leader, and she's working for all of the residents of the city of Boynton, and I'm proud to have her as a city manager. And I support the rest of the commissioners in their views as well.
I'll make a motion for a 5% raise.
It was already done.
Did we already?
No, I can't make the motion. I just make a suggestion.
So I will make a motion to approve the continuing status of our city manager here and to also provide her with a 5% raise.
Second. Discussion?
Yes.
Vice Mayor, you said that you gave a 4.5. Okay.
Yes, I did.
But overall, her score was 4.6.
Because of my 4.5.
I understand. Let me finish because I gave a 4 all the way down to the bottom.
Go ahead.
Okay. But Lori, next year maybe you'll get a 4.5 from me. Thank you.
I will work on that.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Well
Mayor,
deserved.
if I can just say, I have to tell you, Vice Mayor, you had mentioned earlier about trying to create an atmosphere where people want to come to work and enjoy their work. I can tell you, I truly love what I do as a public servant and serving as a city manager of this city. And I don't do that without an outstanding staff and without an outstanding commission. You've probably been the best commission I've worked with and that I can remember, honestly. We work together beautifully as a team. So it's not any one person doing it, and I thank you. And Commissioner McCrae, if I don't come in to work each day and learn something new, then I'm failing myself and I'm failing the city. So that is my commitment. There isn't a day that we don't have more to learn, and you have my commitment to continue to do that. So thank you for letting me serve you.
Bravo.
I promise I won't tell former Commissioner Casello that you called the new commission the greatest commission.
He knows I love him.
Our next item is discussion of the Quantum Park Overlay Dependent District. Jim, you want to give us the community a little bit of an update?
Mayor, this was on the agenda because this evening we also had a closed-door session regarding litigation that also involved the Quantum Park overlay district. I think the commission addressed most of the issues that needed to be addressed in that closed-door session. I'll leave it to the commission to decide whether there's anything left to discuss publicly on that. If not, it's just informational for the benefit of the public and the property owners in the association.
Yep, and the settlement agreement that is tentative between Secured Holdings and Olin Properties and the QPOD is included. And so, you know, I look forward to not having to spend all this money on lawyers. Yeah. Commissioner Katz.
Yeah, I want to briefly comment on this. You know, from almost a month after I came on the commission, I got informed about this situation, and there's been steady progress for the past 2.5 years. Sadly, you know, with lawsuits and things of that nature, it takes time, but I want to kind of reaffirm my position that at the end of the day, I think that the commission should take over the QPOD, pay down their debt with the existing revenue from those taxpayers in the special taxing district, and then seek a pathway forward. For those that aren't familiar with this, and it's a geographical area just up on Quantum Boulevard by 95, there's property owners, including now hundreds of residents, paying a special tax assessment that was to a district that was controlled by a number of individuals who simply were not good stewards of their money. You know, in fact, I'm not shy about saying I think that over the course of time, millions of dollars were wasted away of taxpayer money, and now we stand kind of on the cusp of not only paying down the debt, eliminating the tax entirely for these residents and these businesses, developing a new eco park on the west side of 95, getting out of these lawsuits. There's a dozen things that are positive and on the horizon. And again, most importantly to me is that, you know, we develop that park and eliminate this extra tax, which is thousands of dollars on literally a couple thousand residents. So I like the direction, and I appreciate the support of the commission in moving this issue forward, even though it's particularly wonky and not at all interesting on its face. But these special taxing districts have a way of going rogue and basically just deviating from their purpose and wasting citizens' money. And I'm glad to get to a point where we can see a positive outcome for all parties. So I want to thank everybody, including the city attorney, who's been diligent in keeping up on all these transpirings to get us to this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Katz, for your diligence on this as well.
Further comments? Any comments from the public? Seeing none. Moving on to proposed resolution number 18-180. Authorize the mayor to sign the second amendment to the interlocal agreement between the City of Boynton Beach and Boynton Beach Community Redevelopment Agency for the CRA funding of the Neighborhood Officer Policing Program for fiscal year 2018-19 for an amount not to exceed $370,000.
So moved.
Second, for discussion.
Yes.
My discussion is that the chief said that when he's here 6 months, he's going to review this neighborhood policing and, you know, see what he can do. And I'm just trying to wait and see when we'll be getting our report. Have you been here 6 months? I don't want you to forget.
Michael Gregory, Police Chief. I have not. And I haven't been here 6 months yet either. So we got the beginning of next year, and I will have some additional recommendations, but I do support the continuation of the program as it is now.
Thank you, sir. I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Yes.
Chief.
Vice Mayor.
You was happy last night when Miss Bueller told you was handsome, so go back up there.
Yes.
That was good. Chief, I'd like for you to reiterate the mission that you stated moving forward for our police department.
I thought the question came up last night with what we are focused on in our mission with policing, and I wanted to summarize that in just a short version of it, and it was just the fact we're focused on crime reduction. We're focused on making this a safe community, and we're doing that through community policing, focusing on partnerships, transformation within our organization, and working hand in hand with our commission and our residents and businesses every day to reduce crime in the city.
To condense that and make it just a little bit more of a catching phrase. I remember your term was reducing crime through community policing, and I believe that's also the title that WPTV and some other news organizations used as well to describe your mission for the organization. And I bring this up simply to just say that we're now taking the initiative of taking this organization that is comprised of about 3 officers, 1 sergeant, 2 officers, I believe, in taking that initiative and making it a department-wide initiative. And I commend that, Chief. I think that is the direction that we need to be moving as a department and as a city. And it is going to continue this trend that we've been seeing of reducing crime, increasing partnership with our residents, and improving trust. And I know we've had conversations about morale and this and that in the department, but I think that this is the positive and the right direction for us to go in, where if we do this as a community, if we really lock arms and move forward and say that this is our community and we're going to keep it safe together, no one will be able to touch us. Again, that may be an optimistic view and a glass half full view, but that's how I see the world, and that's how I see our department, that we're going to be able to accomplish a lot of things because we have this mission stated before us. So thank you, Chief, for taking that initiative, and I look forward to what our department looks under your leadership.
Thank you very much.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Moving on to legal. The City Commission is requested to review the lien reduction orders issued by the Special Magistrate at the October 18, 2018 hearing for the following cases: 98-792, 15-2066, 10-3399, 01-3059, 02-2942. Yes. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Lillian Mayhew for 313 Southeast 21st Avenue. These liens were placed against my mother's property over the years. My mom is now 92 years old. She has physical and mental disabilities, and she has not been able to maintain her property. If she were a young, healthy person that could take care of this, I would absolutely understand these liens. But it's not a case that she has simply thumbed her nose at the city. She's been unable to do this. I recently was able to get her into my home so that I could go in and clean the place up. I spent 5 months working very hard to do that. I spent a lot of money doing that. I got it cleared through the inspection by community service and came before the magistrate for the last hearing. At that hearing, the magistrate reduced the liens. However, between the liens and costs and so forth, it came down to I would still be owing right next to $16,000. My mother doesn't have $16,000. She doesn't have any money. She's living on very minimal Social Security and food stamps. So I've been helping to cover her bills, and my credit cards are maxed out. We simply don't have the money to pay any of these costs. So I am asking for the compassion of the commission to remove the costs and see if we can get these liens off and move forward. I've done everything I could to accommodate the city. I wasn't ordered to do this. I wasn't told to do this. I did it because it needs to be done. And I am finally in a position where I can do it. So I'm asking for your help.
Mr. McCray.
Okay, what is your mom's address?
She's staying with me right now.
No, the address of this property.
313 Southeast 21st Avenue.
Okay, and you said that she's 90, how old?
92.
92.
She's in a wheelchair and she's going into Alzheimer's.
Okay, what it is, I'm just saying, the way the city was working before is that we always tried to recoup at least the administrative costs. And my take is that since she has like a $700 Social Security check and she's now living with you, and I don't like people come up before us and say this is burdensome to them and stuff. I'm just saying, do you think you could pay half of the administrative costs?
No, right now I'm maxed out on credit cards trying to cover the bills. We still have, she hopes to move back to her home. She's only with me so that I can clean the place up. We still have all the bills to pay. We've still got taxes coming up. We've still got utilities. We've still got everything to pay. She wouldn't be on food stamps if she had the money to pay things. I will also mention that 2 years ago I had to sell my home and purchase a less expensive home so that I could get rid of the mortgage on my house and pay down the extensive debts that had accumulated. When I did so, because her name had been affiliated with that property at one time, the title company would not close until I paid all the administrative fees on all 5 liens. So I have already paid over $3,000, right at $3,200 for the administrative fees. To have to pay it again would be double jeopardy. I don't understand punishing her for a disability.
Let me finish. Let me talk again. I understand, you know, the situation that you're in, and you already paid like $3,000, and my take is that I'm going to probably get yelled at, but I think that we need to just wash this and let it go and see if you get any more, you know, your mom get any more problems. I'm just saying, you know, I hate to hear about people, you know, having hard times, but hard times is upon all of us sometime.
Yes. I appreciate anything you can do in that manner. We just simply can't come up with the money.
Yes, Commissioner Katz.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Commissioner McCray. I'd spoken to you earlier on the phone, and my mother took care of my grandmother while she had Parkinson's for a number of years, so I understand from her perspective the burden of having to, but it's, you know, it's a righteous burden to take care of those who brought you into the world. So I would hope that whatever system you've worked out where you were able to get her out to help her and remedy the issues on the property is something that you could replicate should they crop up again, so that we don't necessarily have to be put in this position again. So I'd ask you to do what you can to be proactive about making sure that it doesn't come up, so we don't have to engage in this. But again, I agree with Commissioner McCray that you know, based on the circumstances, I'm inclined to support your request.
Thank you. I don't anticipate any further problems. She's not as ambulatory now, and she's forgetting a lot.
Vice Mayor.
I'll make a motion to eliminate all fines and fees on the property.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. And when I spoke to you on the phone, you said that, you know, I mentioned about paying the administrative costs, and you didn't mention to me then that you paid those fees already at one time.
I'm sorry, I may have been in such a fit of trying to resolve this, I didn't think of it at the moment.
And so, yeah, I'm in agreement that, you know, if you've already paid the administrative fees for this, then to wipe off the remaining amount of the debt.
Thank you. I certainly appreciate it.
And you didn't call me, okay?
I ran out of time. Thank you.
All right. Is there any further discussion from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Thank you. Good luck with your
motion
mom, too.
passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to ordinance number 18-032, second reading.
An ordinance of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 4, Animal and Fowl by adding
Hold on.
Motion to remove from the
table.
Thank you.
B and C. Now go ahead and read.
Second. Yeah.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
An ordinance of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 4, Animals and Fowl by adding a new Section 4-39 to adopt new regulations regarding the retail sale of dogs and cats, providing for conflict severability and an effective date.
So move.
Second.
All right. Discussion from the board?
Discussion. I just want to have our city attorney clarify. We did get some concerns regarding this ordinance. Just want to make sure that we've rectified all of that.
Yes, Vice Mayor, I did review the details of the letter. I think the fact situation is different here in Boynton Beach. I recommend adoption of the ordinance on second reading.
As is. Thank you.
I guess, I don't know, we don't currently have any retail pet sales in the city?
That's correct. So
and when would this
the
go
risk would be the migration of businesses that you don't want of the nature being discussed by the ordinance here to Boynton Beach because they've been banned at other cities.
Now, does this prevent someone who has a house in Boynton Beach from becoming a breeder?
No.
Okay. And I am definitely okay with this. I was at the Tri-County Humane Society on the weekend, and there's plenty of dogs that are needing homes. So, any further discussion from the board? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Grant,
Yes.
Commissioner Katz,
Yes.
Commissioner McCray,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Romulus,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
5-0. Mayor.
Thank you. And next, proposed ordinance number 18-033.
Needs to be removed from the table.
Yeah, he did B and C.
We did B and C, yes, sir.
He did it all at
Just
once.
double checking.
We're
I
ahead
don't
of
want to
you.
get in trouble for reading
Yeah.
too quickly. Ordinance 18033, an ordinance of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Part 2, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 15, Offenses Miscellaneous, Article 1 in general, Section 15-8.1 through 15-8.8, creating Section 15-8.9 entitled Measurement of Noise, providing for definitions, City Commission authority, codification, severability, codification, and an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion from the board? Seeing none. I just want to say thank you. I know that we've had issues with noise in the city in the past, and does this allow our police to get more involved if they hear someone blasting radio to have any sort of municipal, or is this strictly community standards?
It's a broader than community standards. We have significant authority to enforce at this point once it passes.
Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion from the board? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Katz,
Yes.
Commissioner McCray,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Romulus,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Mayor Grant,
Yes.
5-0. Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Katz, you'd like to state something?
Well, yeah, just to go back to that item before we close out the agenda, it was my understanding that Susan may have, her seat may not have been up for renewal. I just wanted to verify that before we moved if there was a mistake.
Her seat is up for renewal. She did not apply for the planning. She only applied for the the arts.
Arts.
Okay.
Yes, Commissioner McCray.
Mayor, did we get a vote on your $200?
Yes.
Okay.
No, we did.
No, we didn't. We did not.
Thank you.
Because I got 1,000, yes.
Yes, so
It's like, I want to give my money away.
I appreciate it. So, Susan, we're going to do the item, the new business that I missed because they all left. They'll take one. So, yes, may I have a nomination? I'd like to nominate 200 of my community support funds.
You don't nominate. You'd like to give
I'd like to
$200 of your money. I offer a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like to give 1,000 of mine.
Do I have
So moved.
is there a second? Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye. And I'd like to give 500 of mine.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner McCray.
Thank you.
Yes, Susan, would you like to come to the podium again?
Thank you. Susan Oyer, 140 Southeast 27th Way. I think part of the problem is I was sent 2 applications. I was sent 1 application for P&D, which I immediately returned. The next week, I got an Arts Board renewal application, which I returned. Someone showed me the online copy, which is 1027, which means the P&D one went in a few days to several days before the Arts one showed up on 1027. Then we had, after the last meeting, one of the regular members had to resign because of absences, so I sent an email saying, please consider me not for the alternate, but to move me up to the regular for arts. And I think the problem is in that I was sent 2 applications, 1 for each board, and maybe there was some miscommunication along the way, but I certainly wasn't negating my P&D application, which went in first, which, I've been sitting on the board for over a year now. I think about a year. So this is apparently a clerical error because I was sent 2 applications, not 1.
So her seat was up? If she's only been sitting on there for a year?
Yeah.
Because she came in the middle of a term.
I see.
She was finishing
Okay.
out she was completing a term.
Okay, got it.
I don't doubt that you filed an application for the advisory board position. The only statement is that someone who would like to make a motion for reconsideration of their vote, knowing that Ms. Oyer is an applicant for a regular or alternative position.
On the P&D board?
Yes.
Okay, let's see who did that.
I would like to say something.
Yes,
This
Vice
is
Mayor.
regarding my earlier comment regarding appointing somebody to a second board where they're already been appointed to a first board. Maybe that would be the rectification to this problem.
Commissioner McCray?
Mine was an alternate.
Yeah.
So somebody who appointed regular needs to do it.
I mean, well, no, I'm okay with Chris Simon, unless he doesn't want the position, and then, well, can use your application.
Okay, well, I don't know him. I've never seen him. I don't think anyone on P&D has seen him before. So I'm wondering why I, with over a year of experience, am not, and I'm going up for a renewal, am not being considered over the person who we haven't seen before.
Because it's my choice.
I understand.
Thank you. All right. Yes, Commissioner Katz.
Yeah, I don't know how to remedy this fairly. I don't want to spite the person I appointed because at the time, through an error, no fault of your own, that your name wasn't on the list. So I don't want to screw anybody over. So I sympathize, and I did appoint to the Arts Commission.
I know. Thank you.
So I apologize for what may have been an error, and I'm sorry that it doesn't appear to be a particular course of remedy that wouldn't simultaneously injure another person who just got appointed.
All you have to do is hope that they miss 3 consecutive meetings and then...
Oh, and they will, because there are who have missed. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Any further comments before we go on? Yes, Commissioner Katz.
If I could add to future agenda, and this wouldn't be till after the holidays. Just a discussion if the body is willing, and I spoke to staff briefly about this, about potentially directing staff as not some short-term rush project, but to review the P&D process to see if there's a way to identify efficiencies or technology software that could improve the speed at which we approve development projects. I know it's been a concern amongst developers, and staff has echoed it, that be it through, again, technological improvements or manpower improvements through the next budget process, if we could shave down the time it takes for a project to go through, it would be advantageous towards the economic development of the city. So just, again, to put on future agenda items, a discussion sometime January or February about asking staff to sit down and put a concerted effort towards identifying ways to become more efficient and submitting requests if need be, whether it's for additional manpower or for technology that will help them do their job.
Let me ask a question. Do we have any openings in that department?
The ones that there are a couple of vacant positions, but there's people already chosen for them, so they're onboarding right now. And after that happens, there won't be any vacancies.
Right,
so
but
we are full.
Isn't this the department that I'm just saying we have people that they hard to fill, and they have to come in,
It is definitely hard to fill some of those positions, so it's a good conversation because it is getting very difficult to fill some of our professional positions.
Even with contractual help.
Right.
So when y'all discuss that, bring that back. All right, yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. And the two future agendas that I mentioned, one was a green spot about electric vehicles in the city. If we could hopefully get that in either January or February.
Right. And let me ask the question, how long are we going to keep those 3 properties on there for discussion? I'm just saying.
I need to kind of revisit that with each of you on what your priority is on that. I mean, I can bring an agenda item back at the next meeting on the position of the properties, but I
I'm
don't
just
know how
saying,
much interest there is. If
you know,
you
I'm
wanna
just
have that
saying, yeah,
discussion, or-
right. We need to have the discussion because it's been on
Forever.
almost a year,
Yep.
and if we're not going to do anything, let's do something to take it off, and that's one less thing I have to read.
All right. And then I'd like to add the city's properties on Southwest 3rd Avenue. I know that the city has one next to the railroad tracks, and then one all the way out west near Southwest 8th Street. All right. Any further items from the board?
Nope.
Seeing none?
Hey, Kelly,
Motion
you
to
did all
adjourn?
right the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.